Bad luck in trading exists, and what's probably happening to you is realer than you think. So you finally started seeing progress in your trading, and for the very first time, you're beginning to thank God you did not quit. You experience your first week all win streak. Like you're on this hot streak that every single trade you place, you win. Even the trades where you make little mistake, you still win those trades. And then this lasts for a full week. For some reason, you might think it's luck, but then the second week, the same thing. You might have maybe some scanty losses, but most of these trades are winners. You're beginning to be very happy, telling everybody that you're finally profitable, having all the big plans, fantasizing how you're going to buy all of your dream cars, your dream house, and everything. And this even proceed to the third week or even the fourth. This is where you see people go on social media bashing other people's strategy, sounding very arrogant because they are now profitable. They're like, wow, so this is me finally. And for most people, this win streak always starts probably after tweaking something in their strategy or learning what strategy on YouTube or doing something like out of the blue that they always do, and then they see this, this new change. And that's why you start seeing them say things like, this mentor changed my life, or that strategy changed my life. Now there is something almost everybody starts doing at this point in time. They start buying more challenges. Some of them that do not have the liquid, like the cash to buy more challenges, they start asking investors for capital, start borrowing money, start taking really heavy risk. And the moment they take this risk or they buy this multiple challenge account, probably 100k, 200k, or even 400k challenges, because they really want to scale up that bad, they're like, wow, I'm not profitable, so what else? So the moment they start trading these accounts, something strange starts happening. And what is that? You start losing all of a sudden. But that strategy that gave you all of these winners, all of a sudden, it's like giving you back-to-back losers. And no matter how you try, no matter how you try to be disciplined, or no matter how you try to be very accurate, wait for the best timing and everything, just for some reason, every single trade you place, stop loss. Every single trade you place, stop loss. Every single trade you place, stop loss. Now, at first, when these losses start, you try to convince yourself it's part of trading, and you just want to keep trading, and it starts getting really worse. And this is where many traders start saying stuff like, I think I'm experiencing a bad luck, because how could I have been winning all this while, and now I took money from somebody to trade, I want to blow it. How does this person know I'm truly profitable? Think about it. Or maybe you just started account management and your clients will start thinking you are a very terrible trader, and this is really hard to deal with mentally. So the question is this really bad luck as most people think? Now the answer is yes and no. So I'll answer the no first. Why is it no? Because when most people think about bad luck, they think about it in the sense that probably they are the cause of it, or somebody cast a spell on them, or something demonic is happening to them, or something is following them. So that's kind of bad luck is not what is going on right now. Now the kind of bad luck that is going on right now is more a probabilistic kind of bad luck. Now I'll explain deeper. So take a look at this diagram you see right here. Now this is a box containing pink balls and blue balls. Now if this is an open box, but then you were blindfolded and you were told to dip your hand into this box and continue taking out the balls. Now when you take a blue ball, it's a win, and when you take a red ball out, is a loss. Now when you dip your hand inside with your eyes blindfolded, I bet you're never going to know the ball you're going to choose. And the essence of this analysis I'm doing right here is that if you blindly choose all the blue balls, choose out of randomness, what happens is what will be left is 5 red balls, because we have everything here 10. And if 5 of the blue are all taken out, then what will be left to be 5 red balls. This is going to be the same thing if this were 100 balls and you've taken all the 50 balls blindly. All will be left will be the 50 red balls. So what am I trying to say? When you're experiencing a very long win streak, like I explained, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even 1 full month, and you're just winning, and now you have gone to buy challenges, gotten investors funds and all, you have already set yourself in the bad luck. According to probability, all your losing streak is supposed to start any moment after the 3 weeks or 1 month, depends on such kind of high win streak is going to end. And when it ends, all the losses that did not intercept those wins, as the wins were coming back to back, the losses that did not come in between them are going to start coming all alone. Because when these guys start taking all these red balls, you'll be surprised. Red, but hey, the box is empty of blue balls. No more blue balls, only red, and you take all that red. That's the same thing that happened in trading. So this is where the bad luck comes from, and not the other way around. So now I know you'll be asking in your head, so Dubi, what do we do out of this? How do we come out of this particular problem? What's the way forward? I don't want to experience this. I'm already experiencing this. My life is already miserable. How do I get out of this? Now, there is a good news and there is a bad news. The good news is I'll teach you how to make this natural law of probability work in your favor. And the bad news here is that every single overhyped false expectations you have about trading is going to be crushed after you're done watching this video, which you're going to thank me few months from now after watching this video. So how can you make this law of probability work in your favor? There are 6 tricks to make it work in your favor, and the first one is be consistent. So as easy as this sounds, I showed you an illustration with a box full of balls. Now, the reason why you are going to be able to pick certain number of balls and the rest are red is because you're just picking from one box, and that's a consistent approach. I bet you if you have 3-4 different kind of boxes mixed up with different kind of colors of balls, and you have orange, you have yellow, then your results are going to be even more messier and not consistent. You cannot expect certain things, because trust me, if you're going to be paid $200 for each blue ball, and then you're going to give back $100 for each pink ball, after having the first blue balls, you're going to earn $1,000. But then when you pick the remaining red balls, you're going to give back $500. So you go home with $500. So you still will make money. Why? Because you are working with just one box. There is consistency. Now, if you're not consistent in your strategy, you have no chance. Like, this whole law of probability will not work for you at all, because what we are talking about here is that after winning streak comes losing streak, and after losing streak comes winning streak. They take turns, and when you experience a very long winning streak, losing streak is at the corner. Now, for people that are inconsistent with their strategy, with their risk management, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be win, win, win. They increase their risk to hoping to get another win, and then they hit stop loss and they lose big, and then they try again that day to revenge. They hit even more losses, and for every attempt they are trying to revenge, all their mind is on money, and they are deviating from their strategy. And what happens at the end, when they see all these losses are so many, they try to change strategy. Now, all of these inconsistencies is going to make you forever be in a net loss, and this whole rule will not apply to you. So if you want this law of probability to work for you, the first thing is to be consistent. You need to repeat one strategy over and over and over and over and over again, and then this law will apply to you and will be in your favor. But then this is not the end of it. Being consistent is not enough. We are in the age of prop firms, and trust me, most people want to pass prop firms and be on top in the prop firm industry, and make all the payouts. So naturally, you will never succeed with prop firms as long as this law is there. That's why you could pass phase 1, fail phase 2, pass phase 1, phase 2, then you fail the funded account. All these little issues, even when you have a strategy and you're consistently following it. So being consistent is not enough. There's a second most important thing you have to know about the law of probability, and that is investing in personal capital. Now, I just talked about prop firms and how it's trendy. Everybody wants to be funded, everybody wants to get payout. The truth is that prop firms will forever be against you and will not work in your favor, because the only way they make money is from your downfall. And I'm going to explain deeper as to how probability will make you fail prop firms almost every time. And then I'm still going to explain to you the only way you can still win at prop firm, knowing about this law of probability. So I compare these two right here. We have prop firm, we have personal capital right here, and all of these are trades taken, and you can see you can match them. Okay, let's assume this is one trader, and the same trade you're placing on a personal account, the same trade you're placing on a prop firm account. So you buy this challenge, and then you start a fresh capital, and your first trade is a loss. Now let's assume you had a losing streak at the beginning. Now let's assume you have been winning, right? And you just bought the prop firm, and as you bought the prop firm, you funded a new live account, and you want to trade them simultaneously. So let's assume your losing streak just started. Your strategy is on point. You're a consistent trader. You're not breaking rules, and everything is clear. So now let's compare. First day loss on your personal capital, you're losing. Second day, loss, loss, loss. Now, it lingered till you had 10 losses in a row. The same thing on your personal capital, you had 10 losses in a row. Now you're risking 1%, your prop account is gone. Now, as prop firms are, most of the time, you're going to still have issues with slippages, have issues with commissions plus spreads. Now, most brokers either give you commission and no spread, or give you spread and no commission. But in prop firms, you have both. You're going to have a wide spread plus commissions and slippages on every little red folder news. You're going to lose two times your normal risk. So guess what? You're not going to have actual 10 shots before you blow this account. But for theory's sake, let's assume you're going to have 10 shots risking 1%. So now this account is gone. Now, like I told you, after losing streak, winning streak resumes. It's just the resets and they come in turns, provided you're consistent. So what happens is when this account is gone, your personal capital just lost 10%, but you have 90% left. What happens is as your win streak comes, which I did not continue from here, but just imagine 5 extra wins. That 5 extra wins is recovering everything and you still make money on top. Now there's another scenario with a completely different sample size. And in this sample size, we're going to be starting with a winning streak. Let it not be like, okay, we are just talking about losing streaks because it's random, right? Anything happens. So let's talk about the challenge starting with winning streak. So this is a different sample size between the prop firm and the personal account with all the trades being simultaneous. So we started the win streak and it's a 5 win streak. Okay. Now, what's most common for most strategies is 5 wins in a row. Very, very, very common. So I'm going to start with this. So as you can see, win, 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 win 5 times. And every single win makes 2% profit. As you can see with the personal capital alongside it. So what happens is phase one is passed. The trader is happy. Everybody is happy, right? And then phase two starts. These prop firm accounts reset back to break even, but this personal capital does not reset to break even. You're still in profit. So it means it's ready to chest even more losses without losing money. But right here, as long as winning streak is over, losing streak will start. They come in terms. After winning streak, losing streaks. After losing streaks, winning streaks. It's a natural order of life. It's also in trading. So now it's time for losing. And you have lost 5 ways in. Remember, because you're risking 1%, people that risk higher do blow this account in just 5 trades. But 5 trades in 1%, right here, you're still losing 5, but you're just losing from the profit already made. Your capital is like set. Your mental health is calm. You're still pushing, right? But then for the prop firm, your psychology is shaking because you are going right from break even in this phase two. You're going down to draw down, meaning you're risking losing the capital. So for most traders, it disturbs their cycle. Most traders to try to act or revenge or do something stupid just to make sure they get their money back, or they try to bring their accounts back to break even, and then things might even get messier from there. But now we are assuming this trader is consistent and it's not doing anything funny, risking 1% per trade, and for some reason he's losing. Now somebody might say losing 10 times in a row is not correct. Your example is wrong. Now let me explain something to you. If you trade a high win, a high risk to reward, like a 5, 1:5, 1:4, 1:6, a losing streak is going to happen more often than you can imagine. If you're entering here, your stop loss is here, and then your TP is far, the chances of price moving from here to here and from here to here is easier. From entry to stop loss is easier because it's close by than this. Because what happens is, even if you're correct, price can go to your profits area a bit and then swerve back down because the market is doing its thing. It doesn't give a shit about your levels or your take profit or your pair. It doesn't care. So any of these can happen, meaning hitting 2 arrow, 3 arrow is easier than doing these long ones. And if you do these long ones, you experience a lot of losing streaks. And if you want to start taking partials, you're deceiving yourself, because doing a 1:5, 1:6, and taking partials along the line, you're going to, at the end of the whole trade, you're going to end up having a 1:2 that you can just literally hold till TP easily. So there is no shortcut, and every too much thing you do is there's a disadvantage waiting for you. There is no way out completely. Losing is inevitable. So what's my point? Having 10 losses in a row is very possible, and for people that trade 2 arrow, it's still possible, even if your TP is 1:2, just like the example I'm explaining here. If you backtest your strategy over a long period of time, for most strategies that has a 2 risk to reward, 2 RR, what happens is that their losing streak come like 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row. Like is that like their max losing streak is like 4 to 5 times in a row. But in real life, most people trade more than one pair, two, three, four pairs. If you do that and you're in a particular bad season, there are chances when all these two, three pairs are all performing poorly under your strategy, and each of them can supply the max number of losing streaks. And you have in your back test, you had max of 5 losses, but now you trade 3 pairs, you can have max of 15 losses, 3 times 5. So trust me, having a long losing streak is very possible, and you better prepare for it instead of thinking that it's not possible. So this 10 losing streak happened to this guy on the phase 2 account, the account is gone. But on the personal capital, what happened? The guy is back to break even. He made 10%, he lost 10%. He's back to break even. And definitely, winning streak will come after this and he will be back in profit. But your whole money is gone even after this performance. And like I always say, it comes with a lot of mental disturbance. It's over from near success syndrome, where you're really, really close to getting funded, bragging. Some people are already in their face, they're already bragging to everybody what they will buy, the place they'll travel to, what they will do, and you just get cut short. Is mentally tasking than this guy. So there's a whole reason why you should first invest in a personal capital, because personal capital will save you mental stress. Every professional trader I know that trades well, like that have been trading for decades, they always do personal capital because it's more responsible, easier. That's it. If you're going for a raw spread account, nobody is still forcefully giving you large spreads. You pay a commission, right? If you refuse to go for a raw spread account, you will suffer only spreads and not spread and commissions. And then the slippages mostly happen during high impact news like NFP or CPI. But you see other little red folder news, you don't experience anything like too much slippage. But in prop firms, it's a different ballgame. So prop firms are actually harder, plus the rules and the unique rules across other prop firms, the news trading and all. So problems are actually very harder. So most people that do trading for a living, like serious minded individuals, focus on personal capital. So that should be the first thing you go for. And prop firm is something you take secondary. And I'm going to talk about how you should take it secondary and still make a lot of money from it, despite all these disadvantages caused by probability. So the third one is know your staff. You're not going to always have losses and wins in streaks every time. Sometimes they are mixed up. You know, if it's always going to be in streaks, then trust me, you might as well after a winning streak stop trading. Is it not? Right? But it's not always going to come in streaks. Most times it comes in a larger sample size. Example, a winning month and a losing month. A full winning quarter, 2 banger winning quarters, 1 average break-even or losing quarter. Sometimes it comes like that. And if a month or a quarter ends in red, it doesn't mean every single day of that month is red. If not, the end result is going to be really, really large. And I don't think Forex will be a very profitable business if it's that way. So it's not that way. Most times, a red quarter is, if you are managing risk properly, you are consistent. If such kind of negative stuff hits you, what happened in these quarters is that you were having wins, loss, win, loss, 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 win, 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 loss, win, loss, 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 win. You know, you're ending the month in a month in the quarter in like -1, -2, or 0, that's break even or something very, very low numbers, but not big loss. Like in trading, big win is good, small win is good, small loss is good, big loss is where things have gone south and it's caused by you because of risk management. So these kind of things are unpredictable, and that's why the streaks do not come that same way, the way you think. You could have 4 losses in a row and then you have 1 win and you think your winning streak has started, and then 2, 3 losses follow after. So the most important thing here right here is knowing your stats. Knowing your stats in the sense that if you backtest a large sample size of trades for over 5 years data, you will figure out your highest win streak, your highest losing streak, your win rate also. So what can you do with this data? You can tell how many losses you usually have in a row, like as an average, because there's a difference between average losing streak and there is highest losing streak, because you could be a very bad season or bad month that something happened in the US election or COVID-19 that you backtested and you saw something like 12 losses in a row, just 1 pair, 10 losses in a row, 1 pair is outrageous, right? That could be your highest losing streak, but it might not be something that occurs frequently. So your average losing streak might be lesser, which is that way for most people than the highest losing streak. With the average losing streak, you could know that okay, for a pair, I could see 4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row. It happens. Now I trade 2 pairs in real life, just like me. And now these 2 pairs means 8 losses in a row is kind of an average. So now these informations are very important because you're going to use in the next point I'm going to mention, which is number 4. Start a challenge after losing streak. So on and on, you cannot know when your winning streak will end or when it will start or when your losing streak will end. So me saying after a losing streak can be very confusing to you, but when you know your stats, you can tell the average losses that's going to hit you in a particular period of time. So let's assume you have been winning. Should you buy a prop firm? No. Just like the initial illustration I made that most people have gone through. Should you buy a prop firm, go borrow money to trade, go look for investment just because you're in a win streak? Hell no. Because if you do such kind of thing, trust me, you will lose because you're coming from a winning streak. What's next? Losing streaks. You're going to lose outrageously. And unless you are very good at risk management, like very, very good at risk management, and it's a personal capital, then you can be able to escape it. Meaning, while you just get that account, you start risking 1 to 2% per trade, and then it takes all that losing streak while you're still calm, calculated, and still know what you're doing, like you're already experienced, and you go through this losing streak before your next win streak and you recover everything and make more. That's the only way that kind of stuff will not hit you. But if you're starting out with a challenge, I bet you after a winning streak, coming into a losing streak, you will blow the account. So when you know these stats, know that okay, I'm in a winning streak, so I would wait till the winning streak stops. So for example, if you trade 2 pairs, maybe 8 losses or 10, you've seen 10, then you decide to buy the account. So when you buy this account, the chances of passing your phase 1 is really high. What about phase 2? What if phase 2 losing streak starts? Now, this is where another logic I'm going to share with you should be employed, which is number 5. Buy bulk accounts. So to buy bulk accounts, you can buy like 5 accounts in a row. You trade account 1, phase 1, you pass it, you move to the next account, account 2, phase 1. That phase 1 account you pass, you just dumped it because the market might not distribute every time in streaks. You can't tell if account 2 is going to blow. So what happens is if it blows, fine, but if it doesn't blow too, you have another account past phase 1. So you're going to run through these 5 accounts, and most times you could pass all or fail 1 or fail 2 or even fail 3, and you have 2. Now you have another chance to try their phase 2 account with a lower risk. That's it. So that you have even a higher chance of passing it, since phase 2 have a smaller profit target. So this is exactly how you can outsmart prop firms with this. Trust me, it works like magic. And before I proceed, if you want to learn how to pass challenges fast, if you want to learn my method of passing challenges fast in practical, like you want to know how I do it, you want to also learn my strategy, how I trade, and how I manage to be consistent. You want to know every single thing I know about trading and implement it to hit consistency. Then you can pause this video right after now, go to the description, and the first link right there will send you to my Telegram. All you have to send me is mentorship, and I'm going to tell you what is required, the pricing, everything you need to have in place before you get admitted into the mentorship. And then if you're very serious and dedicated, 90 days from when you join, you could literally be funded. That's if you follow every instruction I give you. Because it's not as complicated as you think. All what you needed was information, and here you get it overload. So what's the final one? Don't go full time yet. This is very important. Guys, if you've finally gotten profitable, just like I am, I'm not a full-time trader in the sense that I don't only trade. Now I'm creating content. I have other skill sets I'm learning because profitable trading is boring. Of course, I trade just 4 hours every day. So out of 4 hours, my remaining 20 hours, if you remove 8 hours for sleep, what happened to what I do with 12 solid hours? Just playing games or doing what? So I have other things I do that support me both financially and makes me forget about trading outcome. So you shouldn't go full time, not just because of the mental stuff, but because you cannot control the outcome in trading. Example, you could have a losing month. Now, if you only depend on trading, what happens to you? Are you not going to feed or pay your rent or do basic stuff? So what happens? You start depleting your capital, and as your capital depletes, you will start depleting your risk, or else you start trying to over risk to make everything back, which can fuck you really bad. So what about losing quarters? I know that's very rare, but what if it happens for a straight 3 months, things are not all right? You will betray yourself. because you start breaking your own rules you set. So that's why, like, it's not recommended. I will never recommend it to anybody. Now, people that are able to trade full time, they do so because they have a lot of money saved up. They have been trading, they have been working jobs, they have a company, they have investment assets. So money has come in, they have enough money in their bank, plus investments that bring in passive income. So it's all stored up there. So when they think about food, they think about their money, their assets. When they think about their rent, they think about their assets. When they think about solving a problem, they think about assets. They don't think about trading. So they take this trading as a routine, something they just continue to do. And yes, it generates income in a slow curve. If you're trading personal capital or long term, yes, it's very profitable. But in as much as you don't want to betray yourself, it's only wise to do full-time trading when you have a lot of assets and investment that bring in passive income and you really do not care about your trading profits. So that's exactly the right time to go full-time in trading. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Everything I talked about here is based on reality and based on experience. Nothing to lure you into a false belief or anything, because the market is probabilistic, and until you approach it from a probabilistic mindset, you're never gonna make it in this industry. I love talking to you guys, and I'll continue posting videos. Do well to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.